I feel like a lot has dropped lately. I was spending a lot of time alone, and also I was watching more YouTube from you, and it was very helpful. I mean, I was kind of doing that for a while, uh, just being with the feelings, you know.
Yeah.
So what's very beautiful now is that there is mainly this spaciousness, and even if something is there, I don't want to run away from it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because I think I know I had this idea, and I remember you told this in Vienna that, which helped me a lot, when you said that we have this association about happiness, that it's some kind of high state energy.
Yeah.
And excitement, and but I think what I want to say is that a lot of times I can see that this personal construct is just not real.
Yeah.
And then, but still with some thoughts, it feels like there is some investment or stickiness, or
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it, but
We can explore it if you like, if you feel like you've got stickiness. I'm just checking to make sure people are saying your sound is okay, because last time I didn't check the messages and the sound wasn't good. We can explore the stickiness if you like. Do you feel any stickiness now, or do you feel very spacious now? Or
no,
what?
now it's okay.
It's okay?
It's like when I watch, all these non-dual, like you or Rupert Spira or Muji, because it's not about, philosophy and intellectual stuff. It's very easy, like, the thoughts are dropping, and then it's silent mind, and a lot of times it's possible alone too, like, but oh yeah, like the stickiness is some kind of a spiritual commentary that's going on, like as if I knew, or this voice knows, what's happening.
Yeah.
Oh, and I have the background with the Course in Miracles,
Yeah.
and that served me beautifully for a while, but actually I stopped with it already a year ago, and so yeah, it's this commentary, as if I'm the one who knows what's going on, what is in the process of healing, and
Okay.
still, like, images are coming back from past,
Yeah.
and reinterpretation happening
Yeah.
into, oh, there was always this boundlessness, so there's a lot of
So when you're in relationships with people, or when you're speaking or at work or something, or when you spend time with other people, what is the issue? Like what annoys you about other people?
yeah, well, lately it's, yeah, what I still noticed is, like, 2 days ago I had this, because like everything is dropped, like all friends are around me into this kind of stuff too, so I don't really meet, like, normal people. But so it's this spiritual comparison going on. It's like my mind is projecting out the beauty, and like they are more into this, like they are more peaceful, more joyful. So it's like, even though so often like alone, yes, and
But when you're
I'm
with
in this,
other people, you project that they're more peaceful, or
yes, that like they are ahead of me, like that, yeah. So there is this still this not good enough. So
so?
because I'm exploring that is this not good enough,
Yeah,
which is the story of Sandy before,
yeah,
and with what you were just talking about, wanting to do more
yeah,
and produce more. So there is always this feeling of not doing enough
yeah,
to be worthy, and then now it's the same with spirituality, and then I even have the web page and doing translation. So this service ideas about like being more in service,
yeah,
and then intellectually I know that it's like I am not helping anyone as a separate person. So these two things are colliding into this seeking energy. Like what I see now is like this seeking energy wants to like go outside, but then there is the seeing what's happening, and then it collapses. So, and it just keeps happening. It's just out, back into myself, and then, oh, I'm already it. So, but it's like, yeah, it's,
yeah. So, so when you're with other people, can you think of things that you get annoyed with them about?
mm, yeah, it's that they that they are not seeing me for who I am, and even with some spiritual like friends who we share this path, and it was so helpful for a long time, but now I feel it's, there are these images, like I have this image about them, and when I'm with them I can feel that it's there about me, but probably that's the projection. So because the story is there, all the things that we've done together, and the healing that we've done together, and
And so you get annoyed with them projecting onto you?
yeah, it's some kind of confusion about, like, yeah, I think I still don't trust my feelings about what's happening. Like there is this confusion that I can see that they are perfect, because when we are together, then I am in that space too. But then I have some feelings about like something is not, like about energies, that like there is still some stuff which is unhealed maybe. And then like I don't trust that it's there. It's just kind of some kind of a dismissing it, that, oh, it must be my projection. And I also see that my mind is going in loops about this, like it's trying to solve it, on the mind level, and I can see that there is no solution on the mind level. And when I when like when I don't know how to say it with these words. When I'm there, there is no question, no nothing, no thoughts, and then I can see that these are just problems that the mind is making up.
Okay, so if you shut your eyes now and go down to your feelings in your body, what sort of, and you just bring them in, so just imagine them. You've got to be really honest, but what sort of thoughts is it that come up about them? Like don't use your spiritual level, like the level that's taught you that they're perfect and they're beautiful. Go to the level deeper than that. Like what's underneath that? Like if you give yourself full permission to think anything you want about them, and the reason that I ask you this is so that I can get into it a little bit and see what the...
Yeah, the first thought that came that they are judging me.
And what's wrong if they judge you? Like, and just don't be spiritual, just be really honest. Just keep trying to jump deeper or to go deeper into that feeling. When it will come up and say there's nothing wrong with them judging you, there is an issue in you that doesn't like them judging you.
Yeah, it's like there is a fear of losing them still, maybe. And then, if I'm not shiny enough or I'm not there where they are, then I'm gonna lose them. So it's like I have to maintain this image about myself, and it's so exhausting.
What's wrong with losing them? What do they give to you?
Some kind of thing that I can still hold on to, because everything is collapsing and falling away. And then I'm angry at them and myself too, that I can see that it's just this holding on to something.
Yeah.
And then I go into, trying to push them away.
Yeah.
As if, I'm holding them back or they hold me back, and then life keeps bringing them back to me.
Yeah. It's beautiful that you can be so open. So just go into that feeling again. And what if you had no friends? What would that feel like? If you just ended up on a desert island without anybody? There was nobody. You had enough food, you could survive, but you just had no contact with humans.
Actually, it's even harder to admit, but I don't miss them. I mean, really, like I'm here now at my parents' place now. Something that I always try to avoid. And yeah, I mean, I don't miss them. So
Yeah.
yeah, it feels like something is still holding on, but what feels like it's in my mind now.
Yeah.
Like concepts, still concepts, and
But just go back to your feelings a moment and just try to imagine never seeing a human again, never speaking to a human, never seeing the internet, no human contact. What is it that you lose? What is it? Maybe it's too hard to imagine.
yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah. So what often keeps us in these relationships and keeps us in relationships where we're not exactly happy or where we feel this stuff coming up, it's not saying that you should break the relationship with them, but this is the thing that's underneath it is what creates problems for you and makes you go in circles about the circumstance, is the fear of being alone. It's actually really crazy that the fear of being alone is what screws up a lot of relationships. This fear of being absolutely alone. And I don't mean alone as in like going home and watching TV or being in your home. I mean like this fear that we have of being a singular person in this world, in this universe. And that dynamic is what normally screws up our relationships, because what it makes us do is it makes us sell ourselves short. It makes us give ourselves away to people. So we do things that we're not happy with, or we behave in ways that we don't like because we don't want to be alone. And so we fear the rejection, we fear that stopping and being with this, with what is. And so therefore we constantly create a sense of self to project for others, to show to others. And if we project this sense of self and maintain this sense of self, then other people will love us and accept us. And we do this because we're afraid of not being in communities or not being in relationship with other human beings. Even though sometimes we crave it, we're absolutely petrified of being alone, really being alone. We're petrified of this world we're in a relationship to, so we want to hold on to other people. And in doing that, we sell ourselves. We give ourselves away. We don't follow our heart. We sell ourselves in order to be someone for other people, whether it be spiritual or whether it be a good producer or whether it be a mother or a father or whatever role it is. We're so scared of just being what we are in the moment, because we fear if we allow that, if we, the separate self, isn't in control of ourselves, then nobody will love us or accept us. And it's not the loving us or accepting us that's the big fear. The big fear is being rejected and being totally alone. We don't know what we'd do with ourselves, being in relationship with this world without others. If we had others, then we can kind of mask it. We can kind of do things and mask that fear of loneliness. And so this is often, so our mind circles in these surface stories about being in relationship with people and whether or not they're expressing themselves or you're expressing yourself or you're being true to yourself or they're being true to themselves. And it gets stuck in these circles, not because of the actual act of the relationships between you two or the group of friends. It's because of a fear underneath of being alive, of being in relationship. Because as soon as you're in relationship with anything, you're suddenly something small that's in relationship with something big. And this isn't true. And then when you are that thing that's small, you've got to keep yourself contained. You've got to stay small, because otherwise if you expand, you disappear. If you become yourself and you forget yourself, so you forget being that small person, then you disappear into this eternity. And we're, as separate people, we're afraid of this eternity. We're afraid of the never ending, so we stay in the very small relative, in these small stories. But these small stories are like are fueled by our existential fear. by our fear of life. So when you're going round in those stories, and they might not be so present now, but when you are going round to them, just see if you can keep taking them back to the original fear. And every time it comes up, it's really not about your relationships. It's normally about that you've sold yourself short, and that's why you feel angry with them. Like you're giving yourself to them, and you're doing all these things to be loved by them, and then you feel angry with them for having done that.
Yeah, and because I can see that, like, in this sense, I already like took back this projection, and I can see that this is this self-hatred of being small, playing small.
Yeah.
And
you're not. You are the creator. You are that boundless freedom.
and then also that I, because a lot of times now it's just this, like, just things happening. But then it seems like when somehow there are some thoughts that can pull me back into the little self.
Yeah, for sure. That's what seems to happen. It's that flip-flopping between the two.
And then I can also see that it's just, that's what's happening then. And then there is this like no way of being able to control this. I can see that. So if it must be grace, then it's just it pops.
And so right now, what do you feel in your body? So just go into your torso and into your body area, and what do you feel?
Yeah, in the stomach area there is a little bit of moving energy, but it's nothing that bothers or that I would want to try to get out of it. But there is something that I noticed lately in the head area that can come up, some kind of this tension, like in.
But just go back to what we were saying before, because you missed something. What happened in our conversation was that you've got to a place of sensitivity, and then something in you closed to that sensitivity, and you tried to retell the story of something else. Like you tried to retell the story of, like, this doesn't always happen. So you went from opening and exposing yourself to then wanting to protect yourself. Did you feel that?
Not fear, but like that's what the mind, like this is how the mind, like, trying to defend this construct, or
so you opened up, and this is most probably what you do. You open up, and therefore you felt vulnerable, and you felt that smallness come, and then when that smallness came, you tried to rebuild yourself and take a position again of something that you knew. I could see it happening. You opened, and then I could see as I was speaking, there was a sense of, I know this. And I'm sure that's exactly the games that you play with your friends, is that you open, you feel vulnerable, and then you don't like that feeling small and vulnerable, so therefore then you build something again, a defense with them again. So you go between playing the teacher and then the teached, the teacher and then the teached, the teacher and then the teach. And then they will do the same, I'm sure, with you as well. Sorry, I just couldn't help seeing it. I had to jump on it while it was happening. I can see it in your face, I could see it in your body. Other people can't see you, but I could see it happen in your body, this opening, and then...
Yeah, it's like I like something needs a push. Step over this.
Yeah. I think this, especially if you watch it back, I think this will be really beautiful, because you've been so willing to expose yourself in front of so many people. So this, like, when the person's exposed, it's always such a great thing. But I feel like that's enough of us. I think that we've talked about everything. I don't think we need to talk any longer. But thank you for your openness and and just keep going back to the feelings when you're with your friends. Like, don't cut off from it. It's really beautiful. The key is always whatever hurts is showing you the way home, because it's not true. Yeah. Nice. Thank you. Nice to speak to you.
Bye.
Bye.